Hello, crypto boys and ghouls, and welcome back to the channel, Tales from the Cryptmancer, where we feature content on play-to-earn games on the blockchain, such as Splinterlands. And in today's video, I wanted to do the Share Your Battle for Splinterlands for the Hive Curation Challenge, but I wanted to specifically talk about a card that wasn't actually featured in this week's Share Your Battle highlight, but I did want to go into it because I think it's convenient from a timing perspective with end of season coming up. And the card that I want to talk about is a new Chaos Legion reward card where I was wrong. My initial take on the card was incorrect, and I wanted to correct the record and talk a little bit about why this card I think is valuable, especially at the gold level and higher. And let's just kind of walk back in history a little bit and see what I had to say about this particular card in question just a few short weeks ago when it was released as part of the new Chaos Legion reward cards. At max level, which is the left-hand card stats here, from a specialized perspective, I give it a C rating. You're going to want to have it at minimum target level of 10 to maximize its specialization here. But even at max level here, I just don't see it being a super great card for the reasons we've already discussed, even at the specialized level, and I give it a C rating. So yeah, I didn't have a lot of great things at the time to say about the Mir Dampier, which is the card that I want to feature this week as part of the Share Your Battle series. And I was wrong, quite honestly. And what I'd like to kind of talk through as we look at this particular card is its stats at, let's say, the max level. You could use it certainly at the gold level here, which would be level 8 as well. You just get the extra damage and the extra snare ability basically at max level. So this card at max level doesn't look super intimidating. It's got, for 4 mana, 3 archery damage, 4 speed, 6 health. It's got life leech, cripple, and snare, so not super imposing. But really where I think this card shines is when it's used in combination with Dr. Blight, specifically using the Mir Dampier in the 5th position and Dr. Blight in the 6th position. What this card does for 4 mana, especially in the mid to low mana battles, with the life leech and the cripple, is it gives you consistent ways to increase the health of this card. Really to the point where by the time it is at the front of the lineup, even though it doesn't have close range necessarily and can't maybe add any offense to the game when it gets into the first position, well, it's going to have double-digit health. And what that does is it buys extra time for Dr. Blight, who likely also has double-digit health at this point in time in the battle, to apply poison, do magic damage, and just generally win you the battle. So what I like about this card, again, similar to the Volguin, is with the Volguin Scavenge, it ramps up health very quickly as an off tank or a late game tank for low mana costs, while the Mir Dampier, when paired, I should say, with Dr. Blight, really makes a great 1-2 punch to make sure you win the battle. So let me specifically show you a couple battles where I think kind of shows how this card really shines when it's coupled with Dr. Blight. So let's take a look at this battle here. It is a lower mana battle. We're on the top here with Kalia in a silent summoner position. You see here, it did, let's pause that there. It did 3 archery damage to the Hill Giant. So it gained actually, I believe, 2 health here. Oh, excuse me, it looks like it life leached 1 health in that particular case. Let's see if it finishes there. Yeah, so it life leached 1 health there. and it's at 7 health here. The Hill Giant was healed at this point. Let's see what happens next. Backfire takes out Jin Bilchka. We get the poison on the Hill Giant, which is excellent. We get sniped there by the Child of the Forest. We get our health back, though, by getting the cripple in on the Hill Giant. We get poison again from Dr. Blight. We get sniped again by the Child of the Forest. We get some of our health back from the cripple. And now we're going to get rid of the Child of the Forest here between Dr. Blight and the Mir Dampier, and we're going to win this battle. And what's interesting, if you look at where we end this battle at, between the Life Leech and the Scavenge, we had 19 health combined between the Mir Dampier and Dr. Blight at the end of the battle. So really pretty much an overkill there on that battle. Now, if we go to this next battle here, this is going to be a 16 mana equalizer with divine protection here, I should say, holy protection. And we have a similar lineup here, except that we added the Albatross and Igor Darkspear. Now, we're going to be affected a little bit here because we're going against Quicks, so we're going to lose 1 damage from our archery here. Let's see how this plays out again. So we get a cripple in there even with the shield, so we're getting health. We got 7 health already on the Mir Dampier. And then we get Dr. Blight applying poison, which is great. This is how Dr. Blight really weakens your opponent and wears them down. We get the Scavenge from Dr. Blight. We don't get a cripple benefit here because they're at 1 health, so they can't go to 0 there. So it's kind of a wasted turn for the Mir Dampier. Then we get the kill from Dr. Blight. Dr. Blight gets another Scavenge health. And then we're going to see here a cripple and a life leech on the Soul Fiend, so we're at 8 health. Now we lose the Torrent Fiend, and Dr. Blight again gets the poison off, which is going to kill the Soul Fiend. And we're going to lose the Albatross. We get a cripple even on the Holy Protection, so we're at 9 health now on the Mir Dampier. Get another cripple, we're at 10 health. And now let's pause it here. So we're just down to, at this point, Dr. Blight as our only DPS, but between the two right now, we have 10 health on the Mir Dampier, 11 health on Dr. Blight, that's 22 health remaining. Our opponents have combined 18 health, but they only have 4 DPS per turn right now because they're Naga Assassins in the first position. Now what's going to happen here is our Mir Dampier is going to take a bunch of damage to the face, 1 round of full damage that he just took. It's going to take another round of full damage there, no problem. And basically, he was our tank for 3 full rounds of combat, allowing Dr. Blight to get up to 12 health on Scavenge, poison our opponents, and get us the win here. Just because the Mir Dampier, that was that secondary meat shield, even though it wasn't doing any damage, it gave us enough time for Dr. Blight to seal the win here. So you can see the value of the Mir Dampier when used in combination with Dr. Blight. It's definitely a force multiplier there for 4 mana because both Dr. Blight and the Mir Dampier are continually doing DPS throughout the battle when they're placed in the 5th and 6th position, and they're also building health all along the way. So if it gets down to the point where at the end of the battle it's Dr. Blight and a large meat shield in the Mir Dampier in front of it, chances are you have a pretty decent chance to win. So in this particular case, again, I was wrong on my initial assessment of Mir Dampier. I think it can be used very effectively, especially used with Dr. Blight in mid-mana matches or low-mana matches when using water or dragon teams, for example. And what I think this shows is that, just as of probably like December of this last year, the Scarred Llama Mage was a more expensive legendary untamed summoner than Byzantine Kitty. But now I think even after Byzantine Kitty and Scarred Llama were in the game for that long of a time, it wasn't until I think recently that people really realized that Kitty was the superior all around summoner. And now Kitty is even more expensive than Jotun. So what does this mean? It means that the meta perspective, the meta is may take a while to really kind of formalize and become more common in the game. And it's not just the metas changing in the game itself. Like I mean, yes, Jotun has been a little bit taken a notch down by Reflection Shield that was introduced recently, but even before that, Kitty was still priced higher than Jotun and more valuable at the higher levels of the game. So does that mean in December that something changed magically and flipped the switch to Kitty? No, it just means that people realize over time in many battles that Kitty was likely the superior meta combination. So, it's not going to be known necessarily right away when a card is released that it is going to be useful or meta. So what we have to take into account is with Chaos Legion and with Rift Watchers coming up and with Rebellion in the future, just because you look at a card and on paper it doesn't seem very good, well, that can obviously change with use, with playtesting, and with experimenting with it. So again, hopefully this has been beneficial. Hopefully you look at the Mir Dampier in a different light moving forward. And again, sorry I was wrong on my initial assessments, but hopefully this analysis and this explanation is helpful when you look at Mir Dampier moving forward and don't necessarily throw them out with the bathwater here, so to speak. Until next time, keep stacking those stats.
That's entertainment.